Hello everyone, this is Miss Mary with Calvert Library. Today on Bonus Bites, I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite books that's featured on our Book Bite podcast. Then after I tell you about my favorite book, we will be doing a fun activity. And so stick around and we'll do that one together. So the book that I want to share with you today is called Finding Langston by Lesa Cline-Ransome. Okay, and look, on the cover, that's Langston, and there's a city and this city is called Chicago. Now, the book itself takes place during the late 1940s in Chicago. Langston and his father had just moved to Chicago from Alabama, a very rural area of Alabama too. So that's pretty difficult to do. So our poor friend Langston here is having trouble adjusting to his new home and missing his old one. Well, one day he happens to come across a library. Now, you know Miss Mary loves a library, and I know you do too. Well, guess what? Langston loves books, but he's never been in a library before. In his hometown in Alabama, the library was for white people only. Now that's hard to believe and pretty sad, but during the late 1940s, that's how it was. And the good thing is that in Chicago, the library that he finds is open to everyone. So anyone, no matter their color, their race, their hair color, their religion, anyone could go to it. So that's awesome to Langston because he loves books and he loves to read. So while he's there, he gets a lot of comfort from being in the library, and he discovers a new favorite author. This author happens to have the same name as him. The author's name is Langston Hughes. And now Langston Hughes is actually a real-life poet, or he was a real-life poet. He lived during the first half of the 1900s. And just like our friend Langston, he moved from the South to the North. And he wrote about in his poems about his life experiences. Let's see. So the poems seem to really help Langston, our main character, feel like he is not alone and helps him to adjust to living in Chicago. Now, I want you to go ahead and go to Calvert Library's Bonus Bite podcast and listen to the first chapter of Finding Langston. Or if you want to take my word for it, go ahead and check it out from Calvert Library. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our activity. So now we're going to start with our activity. And the activity I chose today is called Blackout Poetry. And the reason I chose it was because of our friend's favorite poet, Langston Hughes. So with Blackout Poetry, it's a little bit different than regular poetry. So let me tell you the supplies you'll need first. First, you'll need some newsprint or old printed papers, or even an old discarded book is good, and it has pages in it. Anything that has printed words on it. And you will need a pencil and a Sharpie marker and an eraser, because, well, we make mistakes. We need erasers. Okay, so what we do is we take our printed work, and I think I'm going to choose this article right here, and we go ahead and we get our pencil and you start circling words that just jump out at you. So the first word I see is ghost. So I used my pencil and I went around it. Family. Encouraged. Costume. Haunted. Weekends. Okay, I think those are the words that jumped out at me the most. So I have ghosts, family, encouraged, costume, haunted, and weekends. I don't know if you can see that, but I have outlined those words on the article. So now what I can do is, if there are words that I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense, that's a good poem, let's go with that, then I'm good to go. But if I need to make adjustments, maybe I go ghosts, family, encouraged, costume, haunted, weekends. I need some more words in there to make this make more sense. So maybe of ghosts of the family. I might want to go ahead and circle those ones. Then maybe I like ghostly Friday. In family, encouraged, in costume. So add words to make it make more sense, or if you go, nope, that's too much, you can erase those words. Okay, that's why we have the eraser. But once you are happy with your poem, okay, the words that you have chosen, that's when you go and you outline. Be very careful. This one's a little, it was a little heavy on the line there. So let me see if I can be a little more careful. If not, I may need to choose a different marker. Okay, and that's okay too. We can do practice runs. Now with this is a permanent marker. Now it will bleed through to the other side. So make sure the other side doesn't have anything you want on it, and that you have several pieces of paper underneath what you're doing to protect your desk. Your special grown-up will thank you for that. So once we're done outlining our words that we have chosen for our poem, then you can black out the words that you are not using. And that's why it's called Blackout Poetry, because you are blacking out or taking out the words that you are not using and only leaving the ones behind that you want to. And I've also seen some people who like to draw things. So like, let's say they want to draw a ghost. Now, my ghost is a little, oh. And then they want to black out everything else. You can totally do that because this is your creation. You get to pick. Or maybe you decide, I want my ghost to be yellow. Then pull out your highlighter or your yellow marker or your yellow crayon, and you can color in so that your ghost is yellow. The idea is to create something from print that's already down. Now, I've already made 2 examples that I wanted to show you. Okay, this one, if you can see it, I made and colored. And I colored it kind of to look like the Calvert cliffs. So there's the sky up the top, grass, there's the cliffs, and then there's the Chesapeake Bay down the bottom. And my poem is actually about the Chesapeake Bay also. Now with this one, I like it because it, you know, has a little bit of color and it's fun, but you can still kind of see the other words through it. So I wasn't exactly happy. I might have used marker to make it a little bit more distinct. Then this one, I did like a blackout poem, like a traditional blackout poem. And this one, I went through and I circled my words, then I blacked out all the words except for a couple of spots I wanted some eyes. And I started drawing a little bit of a background design here. And you can certainly do that too. It makes it interesting. And now you have a creation of your own. Now, please send us your pictures of your creations because I would love to see them. So this has been Miss Mary with Calvert Library, and I want to thank you very much for sticking around and listening to my my book talk and my activity, Blackout Poetry. All right, thank you. See you next time.